Oops, there we go. Good morning. We'll call the Wednesday, March 12th, 2025 meeting of the Criminal Justice Committee to order. Start with roll call, please.
Mr. Hess.
Present.
Mr. Lowy.
Present.
Mr. Carrico. Mr. Swanson. Mr. Long.
Present.
Mr. Hunter. Miss Andrade. Miss Armour Earps. Miss Monday.
Present.
Miss Ripmanick Emmy. Miss Amber Turner.
Present.
Mr. Marion. Mr. Crutcher. Mr. Nims. Miss Denise Turner.
Present.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand.
Present.
We do have a quorum.
I have not received anything for public comment. Is there any public comment at this time? Any public comment? Move on to the approval of minutes from January 15th, 2025. Taking a motion to approve that. Ms. Turner, Moments, and Ms. Earps. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, Chief Judge. Good morning, sir, again.
Good morning. I'm happy to report this morning that we received approval of a grant application through the Administrative Office of Illinois Courts in the amount of $45,871. This is what they call a tech grant to improve our technology. We've received it several years in a row. This is probably the lowest one that we've received, but we did get approval for $28,000 is going to the probation department for laptops, workstations, servers, expanded servers, and then $79,000 is going to the jury commission for jury texting software. There's quite a bit of communication that goes on between prospective jurors that have been summoned into court between when they get the notice, then they have to send that back, and then they have to check in to see if they're actually going to be called for that particular Monday. They check in Friday or Saturday, and then we notify them if there's any change in circumstances. So this texting will allow us to be able to do that. So happy that we received this grant. It saves the county that amount of money for sure. There has been a bill introduced in Springfield for the state to take over part of, or at least part or all of the public defender's office. It does have some traction. It's in committee right now, but basically what they've done with the Office of State Pretrial Services, with the Safety Act, every person that's in custody that comes before the judge has to have a risk assessment done, and that's now done by a group of people that are essentially state employees, and they're paid for by the state, which has saved our probation department and the county some money there. But we have 2 or 3 people that interview and prepare a 2 or 3 page risk assessment that goes in front of the court when they have their detention hearing in the afternoon. The attorneys get a copy as well, and it basically tells us a little bit about their history and also how much of a risk they are to reoffend. That's what we want to be careful of when we're either detaining or releasing someone, that their risk assessment is is considered as a whether or not they're a threat to the community. So that, as I said, is in committee. We'll see what happens there. But one of the main proposals that's been debated is the appointment of the chief public defender by the state commission that they're going to form, as opposed to the chief judge and the circuit judges. So we're going to keep an eye on that as it moves through the legislative process. That's all I have for today.
Any questions for the Chief Judge?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Up next, Circuit Clerk, Ms. Cianci. In the package, you have a copy of the monthly report for January. Take a motion to approve that. Mr. Long, second by Mr. Crutcher.
Good morning.
Good morning. comments on the report?
So you'll notice that there is only a January disbursement report and not a February. We are having troubles with reports right now in the system. So with our computer system, the good news is we're 6 months in. The bad news is we're 6 months in. We're still experiencing a lot of growing pains. When they fix one thing, then something else breaks, that kind of a thing. So some of our projects are back into development so that they can figure out why things aren't working like they should. So that's why you only have the January report. So that means too that we haven't made the disbursements for February either. We're still, because we can't get the report out. The other part of the situation is with Harris and Harris. If you'll notice on their open inventory analysis, we haven't been able to get the export and import with them either. So for the year of 2025, at the bottom you'll see that we've turned over 0 cases. We were waiting for, they were doing all the development in January, so we were hoping that they would be able to install it and we could start on it, testing on it in February. But the backlog that they have, they wouldn't do the update until last Friday. So we're still testing to make sure that things work before we can install that. So I'm having my fingers crossed that for the April meeting that we'll have better news for that. And then the state's attorney collections report, you can see they've at least collected almost $2,000. And with our Harris and Harris, the local debt recovery program numbers, we've collected about almost 16,000. So it's a lot lighter. We are coming into the season, the tax season though, and I've noticed through the Illinois debt recovery emails that we've been getting back and forth that they are picking up some money, and that's just from the stuff that we've already turned over last year. So we did send a file though this year, so March and April should pick up a little bit more. But that's
Any questions on the reports? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. No, that's about it. I mean, you know, the computer project is still moving along, and you know, there's things that we're really excited about and things that we're still struggling with. So, and like I said, we're 6 months in, so we're expecting bumps in the road until, you know, probably at the 1 year mark we'll feel a lot better.
Good.
Okay.
Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Up next, State's Attorney's Office, Ms. Gowdy. In the package you have a copy of the grand jury reports for January and February and the grand jury statistics report for January and February. Take a motion to combine and approve that. Mr. Carrico and Mr. Hunter. Morning, Carrie.
Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful.
Jim apologizes he could not be here this morning. He has a trial. There's nothing in addition to the reports that we have on file. That's it.
Any questions? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, Mr. Pennewick from the Public Defender's Office. In the package you have a copy of Ed's monthly report from January and February. Take a motion to combine and approve that. Mr. Lally, second by Ms. Turner for moments. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Roger. Any questions regarding the report? And I have nothing to add regarding it. Yes.
Mr. Hunter.
You heard the report made by Chief Judge regarding the state taking over your stuff. Any comments? I
think we talked some time ago about this. It's inevitable, but the question is, in my opinion, the timetable. I think it's not I said some disparaging things at this meeting in the past regarding the benefit of the state running anything, given, and I'm going to say it again, Social Security, DMV or other agencies that we've dealt with, DCFS, other agencies. But it's inevitable. It's for consistency. It's for uniformity. It's for training. It's for salary. The motives are 100% laudable and good. As recently as the most recent legislation that the judge was talking about, there's still some uncertainties as to who's going to ultimately have hiring and firing authority. I know the judge read the law. I'm assuming it's in there, but things are going to change. I guarantee you that. I printed it up. I skimmed it. I've read other ones. I think the county is still going to be liable for salaries, Judge. I'm not sure if that's, yes, that's my understanding also. So it's really basically just my position would be monitored by the state. So at this point, the county is still going to be liable pursuant to statute, which is currently in place for centuries now. I thought that was going to be one of the big impetuses to change. The state's going to pay for everything, which I know is foolish for me to say that, but that was one of the benefits, again, for uniformity of pay, uniformity of services. If one county's light, the state could send somebody to another county and come in and do the work. So that's the benefits. But then again, if the counties are still independent of each other, there can't be uniformity. So it's going to be an interesting ride. Are they state employees? I guess now they're definitely county employees, but who pays the pensions? All the details have not been worked out yet, of course. And I think, and the judge could speak on this also, but the big issue initially was who basically made the decisions for my position. And I know there's been some issues as to whether or not it's a statewide PD in Springfield or if it's still the local judiciary, which is how it's being done now. That's been a big contention between the two factions, I'll say. So a lot of loose ends still tied up. But I'm guessing, I'm going to guess 2 years probably before this happens. Anything else?
Anything else? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Oh, don't go away.
And we're going to present you for 30 years of working here, and we just appreciate your skilled dedication to public service and the justice system. And I will come up and present this plaque.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. Cool. Appreciate it. No problem. Thank you. Yep.
The judge, here's one for them. Thank you. I was off yesterday, so I missed the other meeting, but I did have my joke. I wanted to say that I'm hoping Bob retires so I can be the most senior person next time around 5 years from now when we're back here, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'll see you all in 5 years. Thank you.
Okay, up next, probation. Mr. Latham, in the package, you have a copy of Tom's monthly reports for January and February. Take a motion to approve that. Mr. Hunter, second by Mr. Nims.
Congrats.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Comments on your report?
I don't have any, unless there's any questions.
Any questions on Tom's reports? We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Nothing really that, starting last week and this week, we've been reviewing the new legislation out there. Nothing nothing crazy so far, which is where we start. Deal with crazy first and then work our way in. But we'll be meeting every week about that. Also about the budget. I have a call tomorrow about the budget, about our reimbursement for salaries, where that stands. And that's about it. So a lot of, hopefully over the next couple months we'll know.
Questions for Mr. Latham?
That's it.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you.
Up next, Sheriff's Department. Mr. Gessner, Mr. Young Gessner. And we don't have January.
Good morning.
Oh, accumulation, okay. In the package, you have a copy of the report. It's accumulation from the Sheriff's Department for the monthly report. Take a motion to approve that. Mr. Hunter and Ms. Turner from Kankakee. Go ahead, Phil.
Not much to report, besides our census is down a little bit, so that obviously reflects a little bit in our revenue. So everybody knows, February 24 had 29 days, and then February 25 has obviously 28. So that's the difference in revenue from last year. So you're looking at like $120,000 difference because of that. So just keep that in mind. We do have, on Friday, we will be receiving more out-of-county inmates, so that number will go up. But other than that, that's all I got.
Any questions for Chad? I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Nothing really to report. I just want to throw out some kudos to our investigations division. Recently we had a limestone shooting. Our ladies and gentlemen did a phenomenal job. They were over in Iowa. We're able to get locate this individual. Did some excellent interrogation, and we're able to solve this case. So kudos to them. They spent a lot of hours over the weekends away from their families, but this case we're very confident and turn it over to the State's Attorney's Office for charges. So kudos to them. Also, in that same week, we had a home invasion out in Aroma Park. If you're watching our Facebook page, that involved the theft of multiple weapons. Our investigators were able to track them down with some technology that you, the board members, helped us purchase. So we appreciate that very much. Without that tool, it wouldn't be able to locate those individuals as fast. So thank you. And those subjects are in custody, and those guns have been recovered and are not on the streets. So kudos to our investigators, for sure. That's all I got.
Any questions for Chad? Mr. Hunter.
Thank you very much. Yeah, what's the status of Champaign?
Champaign still, they're arriving Friday with 6 more inmates. Anything else? Body cams are all there. They're updated. Trent's working on all those now. Great tools.
Mm-hmm.
Very beneficial. Very beneficial. Anything else?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good week.
Up next, Carrie, Animal Control, Ms. Laird. Package, have a copy of Carrie's January and February reports. Taking the motion to approve that. Mr. Lowry, second by Mr. Long. Morning, Carrie.
Good morning. For the report, the only thing I have is our IPTIP total for February is $135,557.51. That was not on there because I didn't have it at that time. I have since gotten that.
Any questions on her reports? Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Only other thing I have is that I had an animal control officer resign. That vacancy was filled within, which created a vacancy for a kennel tech, and I have 5 applications for that pending. So it's good to have those within a week of posting the job.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Record time. Up next, Coroner's Office, Mr. Gessner. And I only see January here, is that right? February. In your package, you have a copy of the January and February reports, and take a motion to combine and approve them by Ms. Turner from Kankakee and Ms. Turner of Moment. Comments on your report, sir?
Basically, am I doing January and February?
January and February.
Basically, the numbers in January were outstanding, with 12 autopsies and 12 toxes. That was a very busy month. 152 calls we had, and basically in February we came down a little bit with 117 calls, but 5 autopsies, 6 toxicologies. It fluctuates back and forth. Right now in March here, we're ahead of the ball game again, so we'll have that in the next meeting here. But other than that, I'll take any questions. And the ODs are basically at 5 right now still, but we have 4 pending right now, so it's taken a long time for them to, usually 4 to 6 weeks. It's been into the 8-week category already. So we'll get more of that. Probably, actually, it could be I was gone for a week. It probably might be on my desk right now. I don't know. Other than that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Questions on his reports? Mr. Hunter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Bobby, just a comment on the presentation you made, Jimmy Smith's thing a couple of weeks ago. You had a captive audience and you had the attention of all the attendees there. And I just thought you did a magnanimous job on that presentation with the facts, data, and so forth. And I just appreciate, you made us proud.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we have motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What else, sir?
That's about it. Getting back into functions now. Huh? And I want to let you all know that I brought the warm weather back from Florida. Just to let you know that.
How'd you shoot? Oh, never mind. That's a different subject.
That's
That's it?
That's it. Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
sir. Oh, I'm sorry.
So we have
Chairman.
we have another one here. Bob, thank you for 40 years of your dedication and service to our community, raising awareness about the drug epidemic and devastating effects on families and communities. You've done a fantastic job in our community and our county, and we appreciate everything you've done. And I had a little speech yesterday, but I'll end it with this. We're excited to see what you do over the next 40 years. That's what I said yesterday, so I figured I'd say it again to you. And
Wow.
I'll present this for you.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
That makes you have to have 45 years, Ed.
Did you get him looking down in the
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I believe this week, or last week, Kankakee banned some type of vaping in Kankakee City. Are you familiar with that at all?
Well, yes, they did. That's been one of my goals. The reason why I ran again. So, we've talked to Bradley, Bourbonnais, and Kankakee. Kankakee signed an ordinance to go after. I think they have 33 of them in the area to get rid of Delta 8 and Delta 9 and Kratom, which is a opioid plant basically. It's something that worries me about the younger kids and people that vape. They don't. If they dispensary is legal, you know, and you get the good stuff out of there. It's outside the area what you're getting it from is what concerns me and what they put in there. We had a lab, the head of the lab at Olivet. We hit 4 or 5 places, and basically what happened is we saw a large amount. Either you're supposed to be around 3%, up some of them were 35 up to 40% of THC in them, and which is not very good. We're like the lab guy said, probably you'll see a little bit more in the autopsies wise in years, because those materials, you can't believe the number of material that's in that THC in the plants. It was really, I really was surprised. So we're working on Bradley. I'm supposed to be talking to Bradley's mayor and their trustees, and then and of course Bourbonnais too. So I'm very proud of that. It's been a really.
Yes. I just want to let you know, as of yesterday, Bourbonnais banned someone from allowing it on a special use. So I think they're ready. So maybe any communication with them, I think they're ready to move forward to beta in Bourbonnais. So I just wanted to let you know that. So,
Well, thank you.
So you can maybe reach out to them.
That's a very good sign, I'll tell you. And then I'm gonna have to work on the county, so.
Thank you.
And I wanted to say thank you to Matt yesterday. I did watch that. We were very busy yesterday in the morning. I couldn't get here, but I did view that. Thank you very much for your comments. I appreciate that. And a lot of other ones. And my co-partner over here, Steve Hunter, which I've worked with him for years, all the way through the city. And people ask me, you got 30 years at the city and 40 years here. How old are you? I'll leave it there.
I know.
Yeah, you do.
Is there any old business to come before the committee?
Yeah, my friend.
Any old business? Any new business? Mr. Carrico. Second by Ms. Turner from Kankakee. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion